Hi, welcome to the next in the series from The Missing Reel. My name is John, and I'll be your host for this August of 2022 YouTube video. We're going to continue our discussion of idea development and add in genre, theme, story, and plot. I'm going to give you more techniques for idea development. The first one is working backward to go forward. Start with the ending. What makes your main character discover that it's the most painful, shocking, surprising, or delightful? What physical action led the main character to that place? What circumstances in the main character's world inspired that goal? And what was the action or dialogue that triggered the main character to serve? Next step is that we can use secondary characters to tell the story. Keep in mind that every character in a movie thinks the movie is about them. A villain doesn't believe he's the villain. He thinks he's the hero. He believes some good-looking guy with more screen time is simply getting in his way. Turning a story around from a secondary character's point of view makes for discovery of new character arcs and finds new depth. Actors. Using actors to develop your story idea can draw from a dream fantasy. What do you think that they would say in that role? Low-hanging fruit. What other actors have you seen and admire? And certainly not from their celebrity, but from their acting skills. So you have to have knowledge of their performances. It doesn't have to be current. However, you have to write this story for current times. And then there's concept testing. Test out concept statements by gauging people's reactions. Yes, you have to talk to people about your ideas. And no, they're not going to steal them. Almost every good concept starts off with some initial skepticism. Expect that. Now we're going to explore genre. So what does each genre look like, taste like, feel like? Well, let me give you some examples. Adventure. Stories. What are the similarities between each genre? The similarities between each genre lie in theme, story, and plot. There are three pillars of good storytelling: theme, story, and plot. Each pillar adds something more to the telling of your story. Theme being the first pillar, it is the main idea or underlying meaning a writer. Story is the second pillar. A story is an emotionally connected series of events told through words, either written or spoken, or image. Plot is the third pillar. Plot is the sequence of connected events that make up the screenplay. Plot is the this happens, then this happens. Plot builds up to a climax and ends in a resolution. As a third pillar of storytelling, plot is the key element establishing your screenplay into the hearts of the readers. Plot is not a series of random incidences. It is an incredibly complex thing. We're still looking at idea development. Ideas come from everywhere. Everywhere, you say? Be more specific. As creative people, we daydream. Inspiration and ideas arise through a number of cognitive processes that are difficult to pin down because they are complex, paradoxical, and avoid habit or routine. It's not just a stereotype of a tortured artist. While there is no typical creative type, here are 17 things creative people do differently. Creatives daydream. Daydreaming leads to connected insights because it's in creatives' ability to recall information in the face of distractions. Creatives observe everything. As writers, we are voyeurs. We see everything. We listen into conversations. We observe people. Creatives work the hours that work for them. Many authors have said that they do their best work either in the early morning or late at night. No matter when it is, creatives work. Creatives figure out what time it is and when their minds start firing up and structure their days accordingly. Creatives take time for solitude. One must overcome the fear of being alone. We need to give ourselves time to allow our minds to wander. Creatives turn life's obstacles around. Many of the most iconic stories and songs of all time have been inspired by gut-wrenching pain and heartbreak, and the silver lining of these challenges is that they may have been the catalyst to create great art. Creatives seek out new experiences. Creative people love to expose themselves to new experiences, sensations, and states of mind. They are full of intellectual curiosity, thrill-seeking, openness to emotions, and fantasy. Creatives fail up. Resilience is a prerequisite for the creative process. Doing creative work is a process of failing repeatedly until you find something that sticks. Creatives ask the big questions. Creative people are insatiably curious. Creatives look at the world around them and want to know why and how it is the way that it is. Creatives people watch. Observant by nature and curious about the lives of others, creatives love to people watch and generate some of their best ideas. Creatives take risks. Creativity is the act of making something from nothing. Creativity requires making public those bets first placed by the imagination. This is not a job for the timid. Creatives view all of life as an opportunity for self-expression. Creative types constantly seek opportunities for self-expression in everyday life. Creativity is an individual's expression of their needs, desires, and uniqueness. Creatives follow their passions. Creative people are internally motivated. Rather than a desire for external reward or recognition, creators become passionately involved in challenging, risky problems that provide a powerful sense of power from the ability to use their talents. Creatives get out of their own heads. Creatives can induce psychological distance. That is, taking another person's perspective or thinking about a question as if it were unreal or unfamiliar can boost creative thinking. Creatives lose track of time. Creative types get in a flow state or the zone. Flow is a mental state when an individual transcends consciousness to reach a heightened state of effortless concentration and calmness. When someone is in this state, they are practically immune to any internal or external pressures and distractions that could hinder their performance. Creatives surround themselves with beauty. Creatives connect the dots. Many great artists and writers concur that creativity is simply the ability to connect the dots that others might never think to connect. Creatives make time for mindfulness. Creatives understand the value of a clear and focused mind.